Okay. We are having a recording in progress for our third Purification Zoom meeting. And today it is me, because it is a busy community this day. And let me check if we have any questions. I think that everybody is doing like a smoothly cleansing week so far. So good. Okay, great. I wanted to check in with everyone and just see how we're doing by staying on our whole food purification cleanse, staying on our smoothie purification cleanse, or just simply checking in to see, hey, do I need to change something? What's this information? And I am curious, so maybe this is you. So anyway, I hope that everybody is doing really good and feeling good and having energy, and know to put some maybe boiled eggs, some cod in there if you needed more protein for stability and lightheadedness or anything like that. And there's always trial and error every time I do this, and I realize that if I don't drink the entire smoothie in the morning, if I divide it up a little bit, then and layer it with the allowed foods from the pantry list that I know everybody has on their email for an easy click, then I feel like the energy level, it has been a little bit better and more even. So that's what I wanted to cover for that. And I would like to talk about superfoods and antioxidants and phytonutrients and flavonoids, some of my favorite topics when it comes to food. When we eat, it is good to have that on our plate at every single meal. So what is this? So when I went to this integrative nutrition health coaching class, we learned about some superfoods that was very interesting. They are, some of them are very easy to get a hold of, and some of them is a little bit harder to kind of cook with and integrate with. So they have also come up with 10 more easier to find superfoods. And you have them in your PDFs, but if you would like to hear me talk about them and maybe you open up and follow along, the first one is all of the leafy greens. We know what they are: the kale, the chard, the spinach. We choose organic, so we don't get the pesticides with them. And this time of year, we can even grow them in a pot outside on our deck or anywhere. And we do our best to eat that. They can be a little hard to digest. And if they're hard to digest, then we saute them first so that they can release the nutrients and it'll be a little easier for us to digest. We pick one or the other when we can. The leafy greens, the dark leafy greens, they have the antioxidants, they have the phytonutrients, they have the flavonoids. They are all like in the group of antioxidants, and they all help to break up any oxidation that's going on in our body of other foods that we eat, processed foods or foods that doesn't agree with us. And then they can come and polish our cells and the walls in our whole digestive tract and help us to keep healthy and help our cells to be nice and saturated with antioxidants. Because we also breathe the air around us, and sometimes that can have lots of toxins in them, right? So we eat antioxidants to balance all that out. Leafy, dark leafy greens. All the berries, right? All the berries. The blackberries can be a little bit hard to digest. So everything in moderation, always. We remember from last class that it is 4 to 6 servings of vegetables, berries, and fruit a day, like combined. And that's about half a cup, 4 to 6 times on our plates. And then we have, so the berries, we know that the darker berries have more antioxidants, but not to underestimate strawberries, raspberries, all the other berries. all the other berries. And then we have avocado. We talked about avocado. And when we talked about healthy fats, that's one superfood, healthy fat. We need healthy fats to be able to even absorb in our body vitamin A, D, E, and K. They need healthy fats. And then we also have our cruciferous vegetables, broccoli and Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, definitely. And the darker the vegetable is, the more color, the more nutrients, superfoods, antioxidants, and phytonutrients and flavonoids they have. Okay, garlic, natural antibacterial, and it supports our immune and gut health. We all know that it is a great immune booster and wards off illnesses and basically helps to keep our digestive tract healthy so nothing can get stuck in there. And then we have ginger, anti-inflammatory. It also helps digestion. If we feel like we have foods that are perhaps not digestible quick enough for us, we feel like it's kind of hanging out and it's not necessarily going through, then the ginger, just a cup of ginger tea or putting some ginger in the smoothie, like a piece of the root ginger in our smoothie, blend it in. It has this amazing ability of creating heat for our spleen, which is like processing and it's like stirring the food for our digestive system. And if it gets a little heat to it added, like a cup of hot tea, now in this case, ginger, or putting them in our smoothie blending, or certainly ginger in the cooking, it helps to bring heat into the spleen and it helps to digest our food a little bit easier. So that's a good one, really good one to keep in mind. Turmeric, I think everybody knows, we hear about turmeric, and turmeric is a powerful anti-inflammatory for joints, digestion, joints in general. And yeah, you take it with either black pepper. Some of us are not doing well with black pepper. And then you can also mix it with a healthy omega-3 or 9 fat. Okay. And it's a little slower digestion, but it does get digested. Chia seeds, flax seeds, more omega-3 fats. Green tea, we all know that it's rich in antioxidants and it supports metabolism. It kind of speeds it up a little bit. And fermented foods, we talked about that a few weeks ago, a few meetings ago. And we all know that the fermented foods bring in like a little push of digestion, and it also cleans and clears out nook and crevices in our digestive tract, and it helps to balance our digestive juices. Let's keep it to that. Those were the 10 superfoods that are easy for us to get. We just have to look for the direction of where they are in the grocery store or in our household, and then we put them on the plate, or as we are doing right now, smoothie. Okay, plate or smoothie or both. Hopefully both. Let's do both as best as we can. And then we have the 10 superfoods that I think are really fun by Integrative Nutrition Health School. And those are my favorite, cacao. 100% cacao is so high in antioxidants, right? Not mixed with sugar in a candy bar, but with itself. Cacao, water, a little honey. There you got your cacao fix and high antioxidants. Goji berries is this red berry. We can mainly here in Colorado find them, or wherever you are in the United States, most likely. We can find them in these bags, the Navita bags in the health food stores where they have. And yeah, we could put them in smoothies, yogurts, all those things after the cleanse in yogurt. And then we can also integrate maca. It is a white root, and it is Africa, I believe. I don't have anybody here to correct me, but we've gone through this before. And maca is a root that helps to balance hormones. look into it if you would like to. Comes in powder forms here in America, in the Navita bags at your health food store, and hemp products, all the raw hemp products. There is all kinds of variations. Very bitter in taste, very high in antioxidants, and have all of the phytonutrients and flavonoids that we need. And I tried the milk for the first time this time around, and I kind of like it. It's kind of good. So we have cacao, goji berries, maca, hemp products, raw for digestion, for food. And then we have spirulina, which is a blue-green algae, comes in powder form, in small little tablet forms. They are also sold at your health food store. They are high in iodine, and they are extremely high in antioxidants, and help to clean out our cells and break up oxidation in the body. It's one of my favorite. I take it almost every single day. And then we also have bee products, all the raw bee products. We have the honey, and then we have the, before the honey, propolis. You have to text me and correct me if I'm wrong. Propolis, I believe, is the name for the honey, nature's way of producing antibiotics for us. Propolis, okay, very strong, very potent. Then we have the camu berry, which is one of the highest of vitamin C. Believe it is from the Far East, I believe. And just like goji berries, it is also goji berries and camu berries are one of the highest on the planet in vitamin C. Okay, it's good to know to incorporate some of those. I have incorporated lots of goji berries in my days, but I have yet not tasted camu. So maybe we'll do that together as a group. Then we have our sea vegetables, everything, that all the seaweed, all the different kimchis, and all of our wraps, seaweed wraps for the nori wraps, for our sushi. There we go. The seaweed wraps in sushis and other things where you can find it too. They sell those as like little chip bags these days. Just check what oils they are produced with. And then we have medicinal mushrooms, which is such as lion's mane, reishi, turkey tail, shaga, and so on and so forth. They come in powder forms in the grocery store, in the health food stores. You can put in your coffee and your tea, in your smoothies. A little goes a long way, and certainly check with your doctor before you add on any of that, unless you know exactly what you need and what need. And then we have krill oil. We touched on that last meeting. Krill oil is the superfood of all the omega oils. It is the teeny tiny shrimp that the whales eat. Okay, and we get it as oil form here in the United States of America. And then another superfood is, of course, also water, purified spring water. In a perfect world, we were put on earth to be under the sun, eat food from the earth, and drink spring water. That's what we were designed for. So wouldn't that be marvelous if we kept on doing that and skipped all of the processed foods that causes oxidation in our body, and then we must eat our antioxidant food, our superfoods, to break that up. But if we just eat our superfoods, our antioxidants, our phytonutrients, our flavonoids, and not eat our processed foods that is everywhere around us, then our body will have a whole different way of repairing itself and not have to waste time repairing after we damage our digestive tract, our system with processed non-digestible foods. Okay, superfoods are not exotic. They are simply foods with extraordinary nourishment. I like that. Okay. What are antioxidants? And antioxidants, you can scroll through the PDF that I sent out to you. It has some good information, and sometimes we need to read these many, many times over and over and over and over. Antioxidants bring in heavy-duty force of cleaners into our whole system, and it likes to go and like blast little growths together away. Inflammation, right? It helps us to protect from inflammation. And colorful foods from the earth. That's where we have them in, not the other processed foods with colors. And you have the examples right there. Some of them we can incorporate every single day, like a little piece of 100% chocolate, or cacao, like a piece of a dark leafy green, maybe one. It doesn't have to be overly a lot, just a little something each and every day. We can all have a handful of blueberries each and every day. We can drink a cup of green tea, and just by starting small, pick something that works for you. Okay, it is the body's internal protection system. They are a shield. They are like a shield. They go in and just blast and break up inflammation and stress in our body. Phytonutrients, flavonoids kind of live inside of these heavy-duty superfoods, and they break up inflammation even more. So the more color our vegetable, fruit, and berries have, the more of antioxidants, phytonutrients, and flavonoids these components have. I can't say that enough. Get it inside our system. And that is a cleanse on its own. If you're not doing smoothies, then you can always add some of that. Find something that works for you. If it's not been in your system before, you'll notice a difference of movement, so to speak. Okay, you have the colors, you have what it supports, detoxification, helps immune system, hormone balance, and cellular repair, and all of these different foods that we talked about are our superfoods and our helpers. It's like our force that we can call in just by eating a little small helping of it, and it'll help us to clear inflammation bit by bit by bit by bit, and heal the gut as well, and heal the intestine, gut lining, and all of that. So let's talk about enzymes too. Okay, when we eat food, it starts digestion in the mouth, right? So the tongue has enzymes, there's enzymes in the saliva, resides in the mouth. So the breakdown starts in the mouth of extracting nutrients for our body, right? That's why we chew, okay? So it's good to eat whole foods and chew it and break it down, and the body can slowly absorb it. And along the way, down to our stomach, we have enzymes. There's enzymes, stomach, spleen, the whole thing we have enzymes for the whole digestive tract. Now, that's great. We want the enzymes, feels good. It helps us with bowel movements. It helps us to pull nutrients out of the food that we eat, and it helps the body to digest it, to absorb it, and send it to its right place in our body. Now, if we are not focusing on whole foods, if we're not bringing in a superfood now and then, the easy superfood list that was in the beginning of this PDF, we can all find it. But if that's not happening, if that's not entering our body, and if we are instead going for a processed food that has been heated up so much, and then when we eat it, oh, it tastes so good, but it just has to use up so much enzymes because it is a dead food. So the whole food brings also enzymes from the whole food kingdom into our body, right? And it like fills it up. But if we eat processed foods, we have to use up our enzymes. Yeah, the body makes more and it restores and this and that. But if there is a processed food after processed food that goes into our system, then we get depleted with enzymes, which is these little helpers to help us to extract nutrients, to break down food, extract nutrients to our system. So with that said, when we eat processed foods, it destroys and depletes our enzymes, which is our system's way of be able to sustain nutrients or pull in nutrients to the body. And sometimes the tongue will become like a world atlas map. You can check your tongue, you can tongue scrape it. If it's a lot of white on it, if it has a lot of different patterns on it, and it's like if it's not like a smooth surface on the tongue, then bring in a few more superfoods to heal what the enzymes had to use to break down processed foods. I hope that makes sense. Send me a question. Whole foods brings enzymes, helps our whole body of replenishing and rejuvenating and digesting and bringing more nutrients into our body. Processed foods, they destroys all that. It depletes us. So then the body has to call in like any stored or any sort of extra, some sort of like force to bring nutrients that are stored in our body somewhere so we can use it to repair our skin, our muscles, our tendons, the eyesight, the blood, the lymph, all of that, right? So then if it brings in processed foods, we deplete the enzymes, then the whole uptake of nutrients kind of breaks down, and the body is just doing its very best to supply us for daily living, but it might not, like the breathing, for instance, like the heartbeat, like our thoughts, like our eyesight, our hearing, and it might be less and less and less supportive to support muscles, tendons, ligaments, joints, and all of that. Does that make sense? And the skin. So anyway, on that note, I just wanted this to be quick, power-packed, to eat and incorporate some sort of superfood with every meal. Maybe it's a cup of green tea after the meal. That would also help the spleen to warm things up if we needed to move things through the system. Maybe it's a new vegetable. Maybe it's a new berry, something. Okay, this call is all about bring in the strong forces of the superfoods so that we can help to keep inflammation clear in the body and feed our system enzymes where the whole digestion starts. And then it's easy for the body to keep our body free of inflammation and heal from skin to the deeper layers, from deeper layers out to the skin. Okay, that is all I have for today. Thank you for being here and listening, and I hope to hear from you soon. Let me know what you think, and I'll be on this call again on Friday at 11 o'clock. I believe it's the 15th of May. Okay, if you're listening to it in the future, I hope you had fun. Enjoy your day.